Well, let's start by looking at this gorgeous SS 396, Bob. Could you tell us a little bit about this vehicle?
Well, about 7, 8 years ago, I went from here down to a little auction in the Bolton area, and with no real intent on buying anything, just having a look, and this car ran through, and it just kind of hit my my interest. I think the color really attracted me.
What is that color? What's that called?
It's called lime green or citrus green, and it is the car's painted in the original. It's done as it was built in Oshawa. Unusual. Most of them are American cars up here, but this is a Canadian car.
So it's been an Ontario car its entire life, as far as I know.
It was restored in the Guelph area, and I came home to Kay. She said, "Did you buy anything?" For once, I said yes. I bought another car.
Another car.
And it's been a great car.
It's a very special car because of the fact that it is an SS and it's a 396. Can you tell our viewers a bit about that?
Well, in the hobby, it's known as a numbers match car, which means that the VIN matches the serial numbers on the engine and other components, such as you can get to. It's 396, the 350 horse 396. There were 3 396 engines in 1970, a 325 horse, a 350, and a 375 horse, and this is the 350 horsepower.
Is this automatic transmission or standard transmission?
It's automatic.
4-speed? 3-speed?
It's a 3-speed automatic.
3-speed automatic. I wonder if we could have a look at the engine.
Sure thing.
Could you tell the viewers a little bit about these hood pins that are here, just with the wires first, Bob, and why the hood pins are there?
I think it's one of those things that just sort of came from racing, and it has no real function on a road car at all. If the hood latch should fail, supposedly the hood won't come up. But
it's just a bit of a safety feature, isn't it? But it's also a look.
Technically, it's a look.
All right.
And you'll find it on a number of cars of the period, so-called muscle cars.
So with this 396, this is, as you were saying, one of the engines that you could have had in this vehicle. And you talk about this being a numbers matching car. So the viewers understand better, the numbers from the block match the numbers from the frame, match the numbers from the body, so that it hasn't been retrofitted, it hasn't been sort of monkeyed around with. Is that correct?
That's correct. And in order to justify that, you have to have some kind of paperwork, which would be something original maybe with the car, or that you can get from General Motors. In Canada, General Motors still will print you out they call it a ticket that shows what was on the car when it was built, if the car was sold in Canada. If the car was built in Canada and sold in the States, you don't have access to that. That's a strange one.
So for many of our viewers, that's called a certificate of authenticity, I believe, for many of them.
Yeah, it's the build sheet. It's the sheet that would have been tacked to the window of the car when the car was purchased.
This has a cowl induction hood on it, does it not? Is that a feature that is an additional feature, or is that something that's functional?
Mark, you're very perceptive. You've caught me. This is the only thing on the car I can find that isn't original. This is not a cowl induction car, and the person who built it liked that feature, so put the tag on the hood. A cowl induction car actually has a little flapper vent here, and it directs air directly into the carburetor at speed, supposedly giving it better breathing. This is not a cowl induction car.
This is okay, but they did make a cowl induction vehicle.
It's the same hood with a flapper in here.
So it's all about the look, is it not?
In this case, it's about the look.
It's about the look. What I do notice for our viewers too, Bob, if we could have a look at these wheels and tires, if you just come around to this side so our viewers can see that. Could you talk a little bit about the BF Goodrich radial TAs and the period in which they had these?
I don't know much about that other than the fact that I don't think this tire would have been available when the car was built. I'm not sure just what tire they used at that period.
And what about the SS wheels?
And those are the wheels of the car as it was built.
Back in 70?
In 70, yes.
Okay. Bob, how about the interior? Can we have a look at that? Fisher built body?
Fisher built.
So that comes right out of the Oshawa plant, I believe, too?
Yes, this was, again, built in Oshawa. The gauges that you see under the dash are not original. Most people put a set of gauges in to monitor the engine. That's pretty well standard in the hobby. Interior is done in ivory, not white, and that was a one-year color, 1970 color for the interior.
And I noticed the bucket seats as well, as opposed to a bench seat that quite often these cars had. Was that an option as well, Bob?
It came with the SS package. That was a package that you would order.
One other thing for our viewers too is you may notice that there's no pillar whatsoever, and it's really a beautiful feature of these cars, that quite often there's a supporting pillar between the hood and the body, and there is no pillar in this car. Is that something just of this era?
You could get cars in the era, as this is a hardtop, those are a coupe, I guess.
A coupe.